Hey, how you doing?
Coming into this two-game series, you guys talked about this being a good opportunity to measure yourselves up against one of the best teams in the league. Just what have you seen from your team in these two wins?
I thought the last two games was high level. That team over there, that's a good team. I know all of those guys. I know what they're about. They play hard. I mean, well coached, disciplined. And for us to take them on our home floor and win these two games is huge for our program.
And you figured, them getting a second look at Zion, they would try to do a few different things against him, still managed to get 35. Just what did you think about the way he adjusted to what they did and still performed tonight?
Zion is he's a matchup problem. They did throw some different looks at him. They started to hit off of just a number of guys at the top. And he still made the right plays, and the ball would continue to find him, and he just attacks. And when he attacks like he does, it's just tough to cover him.
Does he ever surprise you with some of how he can get to the rim with some of these spin moves that he pulls off?
You know what? I try to make sure that I'm over and over again, that it doesn't get boring watching what he does. It's incredible, his touch. He's going left, bumps into people, and somehow he's able to flick it off the backboard and with the soft touch, and it's incredible what he can do on the floor.
Dyson, especially in the overtime when Ayton's out and you guys are reading on the Jock, I think he made like 3 or 4 plays to either get the ball out of Jock's hands or prevent a shot. Just what does it mean to have a guy like that, so when you are switching off of a point guard that he can battle with these bigs in the middle like that?
He was switching off of
Chris.
Yeah. No, he was great. Dyson, once again, his defensive instincts are incredible. I told him in the locker room that he was huge for us tonight in this win. His ability to guard, his rebounding ability. He was aggressive on the offensive end, and then he just made plays for his teammates. And those are things that we know he can do, and he's just gaining more confidence as he plays.
Yeah, Larry did a little bit of everything for you guys tonight. What did you think about his night overall?
He's a Swiss Army knife. Larry can do a bit of everything. He can shoot the ball. He can make from the perimeter, from the post. He can guard multiple positions. He's a really good rebounder, just high IQ on the floor. Larry was phenomenal. All of our guys, though, collectively, they just we had some overtime wins this season that just didn't go our way, and it was good to get one tonight on our home floor.
Yeah, and Larry, it seems like, at least to us, like he seems like he's been a vocal leader for you guys, since he came in. The stuff we can't see, the leadership department, how big is he there for you guys day in and day out?
He's huge. He just settles us down. When Larry talks, everybody listens. He didn't say a lot during practice or during games, but when he does, the group is listening to him.
CJ with 29 points tonight. Just from your perspective, what was the difference for him offensively in this game?
Number one, he's getting healthy, and that's the biggest part for CJ. It just took some time for him to kind of get his legs under him, but he had a terrific game tonight, shooting the ball well, getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line, all the things that when we acquired CJ last season that he was doing right away. So it was good to see him have a CJ-like game.
Hey, Willie, you know everything that Zion went through last year. What is it like for you just to hear those MVP chants for him after what he's gone through?
I'm just proud of him more than anything. When you have an injury, especially being the caliber of player that Zion is, you're measured by how you recover from those type of injuries. And, there's a lot of scrutiny and eyes on him. And for him to come back, to have the conditioning that he does, still have his touch, his handle, you can tell he was working in the offseason. So a credit to him and his team and all the people that supports him. But we're all proud of him and glad to have him on the floor with us.
Willie, you have a lot of guys playing really well up and down the roster, and potentially 2 starters on the way back soon. Is it going to be a challenge to integrate everybody and find the minutes for everybody, given how well everyone's playing?
There'll be some adjustments. There were adjustments when we had guys go out, and we'll have to make some more adjustments when guys come back. That's just the name of the game, so we kind of expect that to happen.
Saving your challenge for overtime seemed to work today. How do you balance knowing maybe you can challenge some other calls in the third or fourth, but saving it for potential moments like you had tonight? How does that kind of work with choosing when to use that for you?
I just didn't see anything tonight before overtime that was worth challenging, and we have a crew behind the bench that does a great job of taking a quick look at what happened, and they give me a demonstrative yes or no, and that one was a demonstrative yes.
I saw House give a demonstrative no earlier at one point.
Yeah.
Other games besides tonight, how does that? Do you just kind of depend on those guys in that situation to wait? I'm sure you don't want to probably use one in the first half considering the rules of it, but how do you in any game, how do you kind of balance that?
We kind of have a system and what is worth challenging versus not, and we go down our checkpoints, and if it's something worth challenging based on what helps you win a game, we'll challenge it. If not, we just next play.
If Larry's your Swiss Army knife, what label would you give Naji?
Naji's just a knife. He comes in the game and he's cutting everybody. And no, Naji's been great. I've said it before. He's just one of our guys that has earned everything that he's gotten. And from the start of Summer League all the way up to now, Naji's just working. He's doing a great job with Coach Corey Brewer, watching film in the gym. And it's great to see these young guys continue to grow. We have a long ways to go, okay? So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we like to celebrate small victories, and this is one for us. Just the win streak, taking care of home court, beating a team that we all respect.
And could you talk about the job he did defensively along with Dyson on Chris Paul? Those two guys mainly stuck on Chris Paul tonight.
Dyson was great. Naji was great. We know what Chris can do. He's arguably one of the greatest point guards to play. Future Hall of Famer. We know that throughout the course of the game, he's going to set the table for his guys. And then at the end of the game, he's going to make some shots, which he did. But I just thought they did a great job of wearing him down and making him take tough shots.
Sticking with Naji, how much do you think he kind of embodies the personality of this team, just everything he brings off the court?
He does it. He's kind of one of our emotional leaders. Naji, Jose, they get in the game and they just turn everything around. But they're the same way in practice, and there's no drop-off. That's what these guys do, and we're appreciative and blessed to have all of our guys that just continue to buy into how we want to build.
Willie, how would you describe how your guys have handled the success, especially in the last 3 weeks or so?
Number one, we're so grateful to be in this position, and extremely blessed to have a group that we have, but we realize we haven't won anything yet, and that's our mentality. We want to win big, but we want to focus on the small victories, and so we're in our 10-game stretch, and that's our focus, and we'll continue to keep our heads down, but our guys are doing a great job of, we're all reminding each other that it's a long season, and we don't need to play our best basketball right now. We want to play our best in March, April, May, June.
Do you have to ping on that, or do the guys just sort of get that?
It's collective. It's the guys, it's the coaching staff, it's our performance team, it's medical, it's our management team. We're all in it together. We all have discussions and conversations about the growth and how we want to build. And like I said, this is fantastic. Don't take it for granted at all. Extremely grateful and blessed, but we know we haven't won anything yet.
You have a lot of young guys who are so good defensively. Obviously, you guys as a group are good defensively, but I wondered how much how much you think it's important for them to really be themselves as they're working within the system, obviously. But what do you? I've heard some guys say that you like them to be themselves and give them a little bit of the freedom to do that. I'm curious, like, what your thinking is on that.
For sure. I think that's the beauty in basketball. These guys are extremely talented and gifted. And our job is to try to create environments that they can be the best that they can be. And sometimes I have to adjust based on who they are because we want to influence and encourage our guys personality-wise, game-wise to, just be who you are, do the things that you did to get where you are, and then, we can add bits and pieces as we go, but I think that's extremely important. Okay, thank you.
It's a really good team over there. Just, what does it mean for you guys to beat them, twice in your home floor in a row like that?
Just a testimony to, us putting in the work. And, everybody who was sleeping on us, we've been telling y'all. And not that, this really means something, but, it's just testimony to the work. And that's coming together and putting all the pieces together and going out there and showing y'all.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have won 7 in a row. Have you heard from people? Like, you haven't heard, like, can you sense that people are starting to notice what you guys are doing?
I mean, not really. People, I've already been telling people this is how it's going to be, so they seeing it, and, they already used to it because I've been telling them, for months ahead, years, so they just happy to see it fall through.
Yeah, I mean, y'all's bench unit is a big reason why you're in this position. Larry's a big part of that. Just what does Larry bring for you guys night in and night out at that backup center spot?
Larry just does it all. Rebound, defends, hits threes, dunks on people, blocks shots. Literally does it all for us. And, you said the bench is a major piece. Larry's a major piece of himself, too. So credit to Larry.
How was it trying to, or did you have to kind of measure emotions, like trying to come in, like knowing, coming off of that, the win itself? Was it hard to do that coming in this one, or was it just like it's another game, we got to come out and get the W?
No, not really. We won, so, if anybody had emotions, it'll be them. I was just trying to get another W.
Dyson has been, been able to guard ones. Obviously, in overtime tonight, you guys are red, you're switching. He's getting on to 5 and making some deflections. Just what does it say about him doing what he's doing at 19?
Age is nothing but a number. He's ready now, and he shows it out there. And we just all proud of him, and he just keep going.
Hey, now, just as a player on the court, what's it like for you just watching Zion on these?
I'm used to it by now. I've been with Z for 3 years now. Just amazing, bro. That's all I can say for real.
After the last stop, you said you referenced to the crowd that this is our house.
No question.
How do you feel when the crowd's behind you like that, and can you speak to it?
I just love Nola personally. Those people, they love us. You love Nola, they'll love you back, and they show it every night. And I was just letting them know this is our house for real. They deserve that.
Did this one feel a little bit different? I mean, I know it's still December, but did this one have a bigger feel to it, this one and Friday, than maybe some other games in December might?
No, not really. I feel like a lot of people made it like that, but as for us, we just go out there and hoop, play Utah, and we try and get a W. It's going to be the same energy, intensity with us, so it's no different. This is every game.
And how much are you and Jose kind of mindful of just the effect you have on the guys with y'all personality and just the stuff y'all do every day in the locker room, on the road, all that kind of stuff?
I think me and Jose are very energized people, so, we come in every day with that energy. And I think it got to the point where people look for us to bring that energy every day, and we understand that and know that. So whenever we may be going through something or not having as good a day, Jose may bring it as more than I did or vice versa. So we are sure about, what we bring to the team, and we try to continue to do that every day.
You talked about that experience last year playing in the playoffs, how much that helped you. How much did you come into this year like, all right, I can take that next step. I can show I can be even better than I was last year?
Just a matter of time. I always knew who I was and what I was capable of. And it was just a matter of time. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Happy Sunday.
What does it mean for you to, beat a really good Suns team twice in your home floor in 3 days here?
I think that's big for us. Like I said, last game, the Suns, they've earned their resume. They're a great team. So for us to get 2 back-to-back wins against them, that's big for our confidence.
You've been closing a lot of these games with Larry this season. What do you think about playing next to him and that combination?
I like playing next to Larry on the court because he provides such a kind of unique spacing in terms of like corner or in that short corner because you throw it to him and he can just rise up and just put somebody through the rim or he'll hit the corner 3. So closing the game with him, it gives more spacing.
Even last spring, Larry was telling us, like, just wait till we get Zion back. Like, a lot of vocal support. Could you sense that he's really been a guy, kind of in your corner since he came here?
Since the first time I interacted with him when he came to New Orleans, him and CJ, they just always been there, been in my ear, just put me on game, some things, just let me know your time gonna come next season.
I know we talk always a lot about Dyson and the job that he's been doing, but what do you think about him in those switcher lineups where he can defend the 5 and the role as well as he did tonight here in overtime?
Like I said, man, Dyson is athletic. That deflection he got late in the game, man, that was a big deflection. Especially after whatever happened to him. I don't know whether it was ankle, knee, or what it was, but for him to come back in the game after that and make those plays, man, that's respect. I respect that.
And this was kind of like a playoff-like experience for you in that you played them on Friday. You see them again today, knowing they're going to come in with some adjustments, how to defend you. Just what was that like seeing the way they did things differently today, and how did you adjust to it?
I mean, it's like I said in my post-game interview Friday night, they're a great team, so they are going to make adjustments. And if we want to be a great team too, we got to make adjustments as well, figure out what they're going to try to stop, and Coach Green and especially Teresa Witherspoon and Corey Brewer, they really prepared me for this game.
And just can you describe the impact Naji has on you guys on and off the court, just with everything he does, personality, his versatility on the court, all that kind of stuff?
Naji is he's like a Swiss Army knife. Like, he can just do a lot of things very well. And he's a team guy. Whether he's sitting on the bench or whether he's on the court, if you need him to do something, he step up and he brings energy. Even in those moments where I talk about Jose a lot, Naji be right there. Those two are always right there, bringing that energy and the physicality.
Have these past 7 games, and you're averaging about 30 points in that stretch, have they helped you understand anything about the influence that you can have on this team and want to have going forward?
It helped me understand that we number 1 in the West right now. I know to a lot of people that's not a big deal because I know it's early in the season, but for us to kind of have that ranking right now, that's big, and we want to not only hold on to it but build on it because we have a deep team, and we all have a special bond. So everybody is happy to see each other do well. So like I say all the time, my teammates and my coaches, they give me confidence to go out there and be me, and I give my teammates and coaches the confidence right back.
Hey, Zion, the MVP chance got a little louder tonight, and it seems like it's going to be a thing for the rest of the way. But what does it mean when you think back to last season and now when you're hearing those chants like you are?
I think I missed that free throw. Yeah, right. It was one of those. Oh Lord, I got to make this next one. That's just the city of New Orleans. They got a lot of love. I've been saying it for years. Drew Brees told me when I first met him, if you love the city, it's gonna love you right back. And it's a true statement. I love the city of New Orleans, and I'm just glad they come out and support the way they do.
You talked about the adjustments that the Suns made over the last couple of games. How much, like, of when you're playing, are you taking in mental data in the first half and figuring out, okay, these are the type of coverages I'm seeing now, and this is how I'm going to choose to attack in the second half? How much is that a part of your game?
I mean, I kind of watch film on the previous games. Not so much about the good things, more so about like what I did wrong and, okay, if I was able to do this, how would a team try to come at me different or with different coverages and stuff. But my mindset is always just play the game the right way. If they're trying to blitz me, I trust my teammates, get off the ball and trust that we all gonna make the right play.
In these last couple of weeks, do you feel different in the sense that, do you feel like you're putting something together maybe that you haven't done before? Like, do you feel a growth in your game in the last couple of weeks?
I do. And I got to thank my coaches and my teammates for that, especially Teresa Witherspoon and Corey Brewer. They're always in my ear telling me, don't be shy, just be who you are. It's okay to express yourself and, show that energy. So, thanks to them, I do feel that growth because, with two people like that in my corner, I can't ask for much more.
So I'm thinking back to last year when you were watching this team, when you were rehabbing. Were you thinking about at all of this team being in first? Did you envision anything like this? Were you thinking, trying to, what can I do to make it happen?
Absolutely. It was just one of those things where, we added CJ, Larry, Trey, Herbert, and Jose. They picked it up late in the season. And I said it in interviews last season. And it's hard to watch something like that, watch how the city reacts and not want to be a part of that. So I think for me it was more so watching film and figuring out where I could fit in while still allowing everybody to do them, grow, and, win.
The kind of towards the end, couple moments where you and Naji really got the crowd into it, just raising your hands and stuff like that. One question, just what did you think of this Sunday home crowd, and two, is that something you've been doing your whole life? Even back in high school, just getting the crowd into it after a big play.
In high school, yeah, but when I got to college, just being in Cameron. And, that small gym, but the fans are right there. That's when I really was like, oh, I like this. I like when the crowd's into the game because, it gives everybody confidence. And even on away games, when their crowd's into the game, how can you not be, as a competitor, how can you not be in an environment like that and want to thrive in that?
Thanks, Steve.
No problem. You guys have a good night.
You too.
We got to start with the most important thing first. Tell us about the dunk.
Yeah, I haven't. He's scratching my neck. I haven't dunked in a while. I'm starting to feel better. I got a nice lift in yesterday, post practice. Just trying to take good care of myself coming back from COVID. Feeling better in terms of conditioning. Still a little short. Not having the pop that I normally have, but it's coming back slowly. Just keep working on my game. And in these types of environments, these types of games, these are most fun for me. Haven't been in the league for a while. I understand the importance of these types of games for us. Playoff atmosphere, obviously playing against a really good team. They execute in the half court. They get out and run. So I had to dunk that one. I was due. They see me dunking in practice sometimes, and they forget that I can still dunk. So sometimes I have to show them that I still can dunk, and that I used to dunk a lot in college. Isn't that right?
And just how did it feel? You talked about the process of getting back right physically, just getting your game back. What was it like just having a game like this where you scored 29, hit some big shots down the stretch, and just really feeling like yourself again?
Yeah, it was fun. I'm still missing threes, man. I'm getting some great looks from Z. They're loading up on him, and still missing some easy ones, a little flat. But I like the reps I've been getting. I like the work we've been doing behind the scenes. Just continuing to figure out ways to be more aggressive working on my pace, obviously, and just continue to attack. Got downhill. I like to not have those 2 turnovers that I had, and I gave Dyson a grenade, so I got to be better down the stretch of games. But all in all, I like the direction that I'm heading in. It's okay, little buddy. It's okay. I like the direction that I'm heading in, and I know there's a lot of time left. And I want to be playing my best basketball when it's needed, especially down the stretch of the season.
Zion was saying that ever since you and Larry, came here, y'all been big in terms of being in his ear about supporting him. What can you just share about things you are telling him about? Hey, look, this is what it can be. Once you get fully healthy.
Yeah, we just stayed in his ear. Even last season, like just him being able to watch some of these games, right? Understanding, like I've been hurt, so I know what it's like to watch. I know what it's like to want to be out there, not physically be able to. So just letting them know that, look, this is all going to fall in line the way it's supposed to. Just keep taking care of yourself, work on the things you're supposed to work on, and you know where you fit in at and how dominant you're going to be next season. And he's done the work. Obviously, you can see he's starting to get more comfortable. I think the last 7 or 8 games, he's looked like, Zion, right? MVP caliber player. I'm still working on him shooting more jumpers. It's a process, right? Like, I see the work that he puts in behind the scenes, and I'm like, Z, you gotta shoot more jumpers. And tonight, he shot a couple. I think he went 2 for 3 from 3. He had a chance to win it with a pull-up. He hit another pull-up in the game, and I think that's the next step for him is his greatness is what it is, right? But for him to take that next step, especially when the playoff starts, keep the defense honest, and he got nice form. He works on it, so it's like just keep him honest and shoot a few jumpers. But he's doing everything he's supposed to do. I'm proud of him. I've been in his ear, and I always tell him, like, I don't need nothing from you but your best. So that means to be a professional, work on your game, get better, and really start to trust your teammates the way you've been doing. And everybody will flow, and that's what he's done. So it's a credit to him. I'm just in his ear, on and off. Larry's in his ear, but he's doing what he needs to do behind the scenes.
I know we've talked a lot about Dyson and what he's able to do at 19 so far, but what does it mean for him to be able to, when you guys had knee or you're Reading in the fourth or overtime or things like that, and he's getting switched on to a big, and he's able to hold his own, get a steal, get a deflection, get a box out, help you guys go the other way?
Yeah, he's taken some steps forward offensively, right? Like, we knew he could defend. You know what I mean? Coming in is like he's a defender, right? Big guard, can defend multiple positions. Usually that's the last thing rookies know how to do, right? Like, usually they can do everything else, they can't defend. He's a guy who's light years ahead of a lot of people defensively, can guard 1 through 5. Active feet, loves the challenge, can move his feet and fight over screens. And I think you've seen that, but the offense is what's really, starting to click for him. He's attacking closeouts, can finish well around the basket, showing a little post game, you know what I mean, being able to spin and stuff like that. And tell him all the time that the way he works, he gets so many shots up throughout the week. If he stacks those days up for years at a time, the way he's been doing, it's only a matter of time before he's a knockdown shooter from 3 too. So I'm happy to see his progression, and this has been a great season for lots of guys to have different roles, right? DNP sometimes they're playing in the rotation, sometimes they're not. We got some injuries, so a lot of guys are having to play different roles. So it's been fun to see other guys step up, especially with me not shooting so well to start the season.
And CJ, Willie described Larry Nance as a Swiss Army knife. He called Naji just a knife. What's it like playing with just so many defensive-minded guys that are so versatile out there on the court?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Larry's giving us the best version of himself. He's been really aggressive, offensively diving, dunking on guys, pointing at him and stuff like that. That's the Ohio in him. I love to see that. But he does everything. He defends 1 through 5. His plus-minus is through the roof. He's one of the best bigs in the NBA, and he can guard every position, shoot 50 from 3, shoot 70 in the paint, 65 from the field. And to cap it off, he's a really good teammate, which makes everything better. So it's fun to see the success he's having. Naji has been great. I told him after the game that the work that they've been putting in, the young guys behind the scenes, is paying off, right? Like, you see Naji finishing games, right? Trey Murphy having big games. Jose having big games to where everything comes together offensively, defensively. They're getting out in transition. And I told him, I said, I threw you that ball for a reason. They weren't going to foul me. And I knew you'd have the confidence to step to the line, but more importantly, have the confidence to be able to miss it. And if you do miss, you can still play through it. Everybody not built like that, so that kind of shows you who he is and what he's about.
TJ, I think a week or 2 ago, you were on the Point Forward podcast. You talked about Zion really enjoying the process of becoming who he's supposed to be. 7 wins in a row. Teams are throwing kind of the kitchen sink at him in terms of coverages. He's enjoying himself, rounding the crowd up. What's it been like to watch this development over the stretch?
It's been a lot of fun to watch. Like I said before, he's doing, what you guys probably expected, what we all expected from him, but he makes it look easy, right? Like, gets to the paint, dunks, flexes. spins. He's kind of showing everything, hitting threes, hitting jumpers, defensively, blocking shots. He's playing how only he can play, to be honest with you. I don't know who else can do the things that he does out there, and he's reaching his potential, which is really important for him and our team and our growth, is for him to be the best version of himself and get the most out of his talent, and he's doing that, and the work is showing. I think that the article was written about him running at 6 a.m. in Central Florida, and, you know, you see the burst, right, when he gets to steal. You see how he takes off. He's faster than everybody. He's more athletic. He's more strong, and he's still smart enough to embrace double teams, make the right passes, and help our team function and win. So I'm happy to see him growing. It's still early for us. It's a marathon this season. I'm glad we're able to get on a run early and settle in with injuries, but still be able to win games. But we want to be playing our best basketball later. We still got room for growth. I still got room to grow as a player. And I'm looking forward to seeing, how we can continue to string wins together and then get, BI back, get her back, and be whole again.
CJ, kind of a big picture question here. You've made the playoffs every year in your career.
And this will be the next time I make it.
And I'm going to get to that, too. And you were integral in helping the team last year. Seeing now how well the team finished last year and how well they started this year, are you starting to see those building blocks in this team to make this a perennial contender every season?
That's the goal, man. But as I always say, man, I stay in the moment now as a 31-year-old. You understand the importance of these types of games, but also how, the season's going to be completely different in January. It's going to be completely different in February. We got a lot of road games in January, then you got All-Star break, and then we have to turn the season around and gear up for playoffs, which is a different basketball. But I think for me, it's about taking steps forward, right? Like the way we finished last season was good, but not good enough, right? So how do we learn from that? How do we play better in the half court? How do we get better defensively? I think we've taken strides in all those things, top 10 in defense, top 10 on offense, which is really cool. That's hard to do. But now we got to sustain it for longer periods of time. And now we got to embrace what comes with winning 7 in a row, embrace what comes with being number 1 seed. And for me, I want everybody to focus on the work. The work is what allows you to succeed, but also allows you to get through moments where you're not succeeding. And I think we do those things properly the next 50 games. We'll set ourselves up to give our fans what they want, right, home court, and be able to go from there.
Along those same lines, how do you feel like this team has handled success so far, and how do you feel like you will be able to do that going forward?
Yeah, I think it's living in the moment, man. If I would have had, 6 points today and 4 turnovers and shot 3 for 15, I would still be talking to you the same way. I still have the same goals, the same vision, and the same work ethic going forward. And I think if you can remain the same with success and failure equally, that's how you have success long term, and that's how you build a good mindset, but also a good human beings. And I think Willie's preaches that consistently, right? Live in the moment. Work through these moments, good and bad, and understand what we're trying to accomplish on the back end, right? We're going to win 7 games, we might win 8, and we might drop a couple in a row. How do you respond to that, right? I think that's really important for us as a young group. It's things are great right now, right? Everything's full, everybody's happy. It's not always like that, and it's not always going to be like that, but you got to be prepared to get through those moments so that when we get to April, right, and things aren't always the way they were supposed to be, we can still lock in and win a hostile road game.
CJ, you played a Suns team 2 nights in 3 days. Do you think that the NBA should start looking to do this more often?
Yeah, I'm a fan of it, especially if they want to send us to Miami, New York, or LA and do it too. I know we got to go to Utah, which is a beautiful place, for a few days. But I'm a big fan of those home and homes and away type games because he likes it too. It's a way for you to be able to get in a playoff mindset where you play the same team twice. You got the scouts, you got the walkthrough, especially against a good team, to get you ready for having multiple games in a row against the same team where you got to adjust, know each other's plays, and it's fun. It's fun to not have to travel.
Last one, CJ. You're the 1 seed. You've won 2 games in a row against a team that's also contending for the same spot. You feel like there's going to be a target on y'all's backs moving forward, with each team kind of giving you their best because of the standing teams.
We don't care about other teams. We don't worry about other teams. We focus on ourselves. We focus on the work. 1 seed, 2 seed, 8 seed playing. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. You want to be able to put your best foot forward and take steps in the right direction towards building a sustainable foundation centered around defense, success, sharing the ball, and having fun. If we do those things, it doesn't matter who we play, it doesn't matter where we play at. We'll give ourselves a chance to have success. Say bye, Jacoby. Say bye, little buddy.